Brothers and sisters, pay attention, for this moment is a turning point. Forget everything you knew about financial struggles because today is the day when the chains of scarcity are broken. A new dawn is breaking, and with it, the powerful light of divine providence is about to illuminate your lives. We are not here by chance, no, we are not merely dreaming. We are here because we believe in a God of miracles, a God who not only hears but answers. And He is here, in this moment, extending His mighty hand, not just to touch but to transform your finances. Feel the energy, feel the presence, feel the change that is coming. Because when God intervenes, brothers and sisters, there is no force on earth or in heaven that can contain the blessings He has reserved for you. Prepare yourselves, open your hearts, raise your expectations, because your financial difficulties end today. God is here, and His intervention is certain. The debts weighing on you are about to be erased. And this is not a human promise, it is a heavenly guarantee. So, rise up, wherever you are, and receive this truth with all your being. Victory over your finances is not just possible, it is imminent, because God is intervening right now. Don't forget to hit the like button if you are ready to change your destiny. And subscribe to the Abundance and Faith channel so you don't miss the key that can unlock the doors of fortune for you. Hit the notification bell and join us on this journey towards abundance. My beloved, I know, oh, I know. In the silence of the night, when the house finally rests, it's there that you feel it, the tightness in your chest, the mind swirling in a whirlwind of bills, of red numbers that never seem to disappear. You ask yourself, when will this end? You see the smiles of your children, and your heart aches, doesn't it? You want to give them the world, but sometimes can barely provide them with dinner. And deep down, a voice whispers, have I failed? But listen closely, my brothers, because it is in the midst of this uncertainty, this seemingly endless struggle, that God's presence becomes stronger. No, you are not alone. Every tear you've shed, He has seen. Every sleepless night, He has been by your side. And today, He is here to wipe away those tears, to bring not just comfort but a real, tangible change. Because your difficulties are not invisible to the eyes of the Father. He knows each one of them, and more importantly, He has the power to turn your pain into joy, your debts into testimonies of victory. So, as you hear these words, allow them to touch the depths of your heart. Feel the hope reigniting because the God of the impossible is moving mountains for you. And even if the world says, there's no way out, I am here to tell you that there is a path of light and hope, laid out by the Creator Himself for you. And now, brothers and sisters, open your eyes of faith, for God is descending like a storm of grace upon your financial life. In the silence, where you think nothing is happening, God is orchestrating a symphony of miracles. It may seem like you are surrounded by insurmountable walls of debt, it may seem like every step forward only leads you deeper into the financial abyss. But oh, brothers, God is about to make these walls crumble like Jericho. The revelation I bring today is this: your battle is not against numbers, it's not against creditors, it's not against your bank balance. Your true battle is one of faith. And in this battle, God has already given you the victory. He is moving the pieces on the chessboard of your life in surprising ways, which you will only realize when you look back and say, here is where God intervened. God is ready to open the floodgates of heaven, pouring over you a rain of financial blessings that will wash away all scarcity, all fear, all anxiety. Believe, brothers, because divine intervention knows no bounds. So, do not look at the storms around you, look to the architect of the universe who is building a bridge over your troubles, leading you to a place of security, prosperity, and peace. And that bridge, brothers, is built with bricks of faith and cement of hope. And it is with this heart full of faith that you must cling to the truth: God is not limited by human economies, by market fluctuations, or by the failures of financial institutions. He is the Lord of gold and silver, and his riches are inexhaustible. When it seems like there is no way out, when it seems like the world is closing in on you, remember that there is a higher power working in your favor. A force that makes a way in the desert and causes rivers to flow in the wilderness. The power that fed thousands with just 5 loaves and 2 fish is the same power that is ready to multiply your possibilities and resources. God is acting on your behalf at this very moment, removing unseen obstacles, aligning opportunities, touching hearts so that acts of generosity and doors of employment open before you. There is a divine network of connections being woven in your favor, and soon you will witness how small daily miracles add up to reveal a great miracle in your financial life. Now is the time to renew your confidence. To believe that even when you don't see God's hand moving, it is there, working tirelessly. God is preparing the ground, softening the soil, so that the seeds of your faith may sprout and grow into flourishing trees of stability and abundance. It's not the time to look at debts as final sentences, but as mountains that will move at the sound of your faith. The voice that commands the stormy sea to be still is the same voice that today commands your financial life to prosper. So, my brothers, stand firm in the promise. Fix your eyes not on your bank statements, but on the promise of a God who is faithful to fulfill every word that comes from his mouth. Transformation is on the way. Your faith is the wick that lights the flame of hope, and the light of hope is the dawn of a new day in your finances. Believe, for the best is yet to come. I affirm, with the conviction born of unwavering faith, that I am under the care and provision of the Almighty. I believe with all my being that my financial situation is being transformed by divine intervention. I am not defined by my current circumstances, but by the richness of the divine promise that is upon my life. I believe that I am more than a number in a bank account. I am a valuable creation, destined for prosperity and growth. That every financial challenge I face is an opportunity for the manifestation of God's glory and power in my life. That God's provision knows no scarcity, it is as abundant as His grace, covering all my needs perfectly and timely. That I am sowing seeds of faith and will reap a harvest of financial blessings, for give, and it will be given to you, a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap. I declare that I am liberated from all economic anxiety, for I will not live according to the world's standards, but will be transformed by the renewal of my mind, trusting that God will provide. That with every step I take toward financial stability, God is with me, guiding me with wisdom and discernment to make right decisions. That God is positioning me on paths of opportunities and success, aligning situations for my advancement and blessing the work of my hands. That God's faithfulness is my economic armor and security, where I sow, I will reap, for He blesses the fruit of my labor. I receive wisdom to manage my resources responsibly and vision for the future. Strength to resist the temptation of despair and the pressure of circumstances, remaining firm in faith and confidence. Peace that surpasses all understanding, keeping my heart and mind secure in Christ Jesus, even when financial storms rage around me. In the highest name, which is above every name, I submit every aspect of my financial life. I reject fear and embrace faith, knowing that what God promises, He is faithful to fulfill. My expectation is not in vain, for it is anchored in the foundation of eternal truth. Thus, with gratitude and anticipation, I move towards the financial future that God has prepared for me, filled with faith, courage, and the joy that comes from knowing that I am in the hands of the One who is able to do infinitely more than all we ask or imagine, according to the power that is at work within us. Amen. Once upon a time, there was a woman named Clara, who lived in a small town surrounded by mountains. Life had never been easy for Clara. A young widow, she found herself alone with 3 children to raise and a debt that seemed like an insurmountable mountain. Clara worked 2 jobs to support her family, but it seemed that the more she worked, the more the debt grew. Nights were long, spent among bills and silent prayers, pleading for a miracle. One day, Clara was at her second job, in a restaurant, when a fierce storm hit the town. The winds howled like wild animals, and the rain fell so heavily that it seemed like the sky was collapsing. All the customers had left, except for a middle-aged man who remained seated, watching the storm through the window. Realizing that the man had finished his meal some time ago, Clara approached to see if he needed anything else. The man looked at her with a deep gaze and asked about her life. Clara, somewhat surprised by the intimate question, decided to open her heart to the stranger. As Clara shared her story, tears welled up in her eyes, not from despair, but from a strength that came from the act of sharing her burden. The man listened attentively, nodding in compassion and understanding. When the storm finally subsided, the man got up to leave and, to Clara's surprise, handed her an envelope. He said, with a certainty that seemed unshakable, "God placed me here tonight for a reason. This is for you." After he left, Clara opened the envelope and found an amount that covered exactly the total of her debt. She dropped to her knees, crying, unable to believe the miracle that had just happened. In the days that followed, Clara paid every penny of her debt. She also discovered that the man was a businessman passing through the town when the storm delayed him. Moved by Clara's story and by a force he called a calling to help, he decided to act. Clara's story did not end with the payment of her debt. Inspired by the stranger's kindness, she began to help other people in her community, sharing her story and offering the same kind of support and hope that had once been given to her. Clara became a living testimony of the power of sharing our struggles and the infinite chain of kindness that can be triggered by a single act. She taught everyone around her that even in the greatest storms, there is always hope and that miracles can take the form of the most unexpected people. You have seen stories of transformation, of miracles that happen when least expected. Now, imagine what we could do if we joined forces, if each of us became a change agent in someone else's life. It's time to act, to reach out, and make a difference. Let's turn inspiration into action. Remember Clara's story and how a single action can trigger a cascade of events that transform lives. Now, think of your own story and the pages that are yet to be written. You are summoned to rise with determination, to move with purpose, and to act with a heart full of hope. Awaken to the call of change, to the possibility that arises with each new dawn. You are challenged to not accept the world as it is, but to invest in a vision of what it can become. To find within yourself the courage to confront injustice, the compassion to reach out to the needy, and the wisdom to build bridges where walls have been erected. You are inspired to live each day not only for yourself but also for the good of others. To be the guiding light, the supporting hand, and the love that heals. And now, as we bid farewell, do not see this as an end, but as a vibrant beginning. May the words you have heard here resonate in your actions. May inspiration turn into action. May hope translate into reality. With every step you take out of this space, know that you are stepping into a world of possibilities. And as you walk, know that you are not alone. We are all in this together, a community of dreamers, fighters, and achievers. Don't forget to look below this video. There is something special waiting for you in the description, an carefully selected gift, thoughtfully chosen with care and gratitude for your presence and participation. It's a small symbol of our shared journey and an invitation to stay connected with us. And furthermore, if you felt a spark, an impulse for change or inspiration, I invite you to join us again. Subscribe to the channel and leave your like. So, it is with a full heart that I say, until next time. May the present you will find in the description be a reminder of the value you bring and the difference you can make. And may our next encounter be even more enriching and full of possibilities.